What up, y'all? It's your girl, Lady T Marie, and on today's show, we will be talking about the product of your environment, the good and the bad. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Cut.
DJ Mr. Success.
What up, y'all? It's your girl, Lady T Marie, and Mr. Success. We want to invite y'all to watch our new episode that will be dropping every. You don't want to miss it.
C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A, let's go, C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Itz A Chicago Vibe with me,
Mr. Success,
Lady T Marie, and the Black Irish. And on today's show, we're talking about being a product of your environment, the good and the bad. But I mean, well, this is a very interesting topic because I just feel it starts from home. Basically, whatever situation you in, lifestyle you in, the area you live in, you still got to be raised. And if your parents showing you everything or doing everything in front of you, of course, you might see or end up being a product of a bad environment. But if you're raised right, know right from wrong, as you grow, you have your own choices to make. But parents instill stuff in us that we make better and wiser decisions. So you might say you're from a good environment, but I want to hear some of my co-hosts' thought on this topic, because this can go either way, but I just want to hear you guys' insights on this.
Well, my perspective of I'm gonna give you both of growing up of a bad and a good environment. Growing up, and I feel like too, I'm gonna start off here just because I know some situations where you may have not been raised properly, you know what I mean, and still come out to be, to be a better person or to choose to make better choices because you saw, the result of that person becoming that person. So just say if you saw growing up people that were on drugs, if you saw what drugs did to them, some cases it will make you say, you know what, just because I was around it, that ain't what I want to be, or because I've seen people sell drugs, you know, I was around that, you know what I mean? But that's not what I want to become. And I can speak for myself on a personal level. No, I'm transparent, always on the show. Growing up, I grew up on the west side of Chicago, which is one of the toughest areas in Chicago, which is
Wow, wow,
Rockwell
West.
Gardens. I grew up in the Henry Warners. I grew up in mainly the in K Town. So I also grew up in Inglewood a little bit too. So I had, but I grew up on both sides, the city of Chicago, and I've seen a lot, you know, growing up, and I've always, I had my own place at the age of 16 years old, and I was always like a responsible person, growing up. Always, my parents didn't have to tell me like, go get a job or do this, do that. I just knew I had to do what I had to do to make it. And nobody gave me a handbook or told me to do this. I just knew with the type of parents that I had. My parents were still to this day, workaholics, and stuff like that. So they instilled a lot of things. One thing my dad instilled in me growing up was your name is all you have. Don't mess up. That's something that stuck with me. He probably don't even know this to this day, but that's something that stuck with me to this day. And so when I would find myself in situations with certain individuals, and I'm talking about being around gangs and wanting to recruit me, yes, they want to recruit women too. in different organizations, you know what I mean? And I was like, nah, I'm bigger than that. It wasn't that I'm saying, they wasn't who they were, but I chose to never like wanting to get connected with certain people or certain individuals because my mindset at the age of 16, 12, between 12 and as an adult was I want out of this because the hood we lived in, it was like a gate. And I used to be like, man, I feel like I'm in prison. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want this. You know what I mean? I don't want this for myself. I want something beyond the product. I don't want to be a product of this environment. I don't want to be the product of, you know what I mean, me having children and this is all they seeing is people getting murdered every day or people having kids, you know what I mean, at an early age or gangbanging or, you know what I mean, just the negativity, you know what I mean, being in the hood. It's some good things that could come out of the hood, but it's more so bad things and when you're in poverty because sometimes and not everybody that's in poverty have that mindset, but you have to want to have something better. And I'm gonna pass it on, but I know a lot of young men, older men, that's my age as well, that still adapting to that environment. Like I can't leave the hood. Like you gonna lose your hood pass because you leaving the hood. Like it's okay. It's okay to grow up. It's okay. This is for all y'all men and women that's scared to leave the hood. It's okay. Not saying that you can't live in the hood. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm talking about the people who I see that feel like they gotta be on the block. They feel like they gotta be at the liquor store. They feel like they gotta be shooting dice on the block with the young ones. Like at some point we gotta grow up and let this younger generation know that it's something better, you know what I mean, for them and that it's nothing wrong with going in the hood. It's nothing wrong with going to seeing these young ones and to show them what you've overcame and letting them know, you know what I mean, that you can make it and be very successful. And there's nothing wrong with the hood, but just don't have a hood mentality. Don't allow just, you to be um just stuck in that place where you feel like you can't, excel. You can't go to the next place. Because it's easy to be trapped. I see it every day. I see overgrown men, 50, 60 years old, 7 years old, you know what I mean, still want to be cool, still want to, you know what I mean, act like they still got it. And it's like, you a grandpa now, it's okay. It's all right.
But I'm gonna
So
tell you
that's
about
my
some cats like that though. Cats like that, I call them plants, because they stick around just to keep the community down and stuff like that. Because, like I say, the hood is only what you make it. You call it the hood, that's what it's gonna be. It's your, like you were saying earlier, it's your mentality. If you
hmm
see it as the hood, it's gonna be a hood. It's what you act and how you act out there. And like a lot of people look when you say the word gang, instantly they think bad, but people don't know gangs was created for good, to protect the
absolutely
neighborhood, to keep predators out of the neighborhood,
right.
and to do stuff. It's what those 60-year-old men you were talking about still out there representing, influencing these youngsters to do it and make it, you know,
Right.
gangs and stuff like that. Because a lot of gangs, if as they get older and they talk with amongst one another as men, they all
Yeah,
got the same
absolutely.
common goals: is to raise young soldiers, young men, to do better,
Absolutely.
and but it's like it's whatever you make it. You make your own.
Right.
It's the good and bad of your environment. Like that's what we're talking about,
Exactly.
and it's however you make your bed, you gotta lay it in it. That's what I was taught all my life, So hey.
Yeah. And I want to say too, as far as with the gangs, I was just talking with my guy about that, about the different organizations. I know definitely like even with the Black Panthers from with I don't want to really get into the gang culture on here, but with the different organizations as we know in the city of Chicago, I definitely know that they started off out to be, you know what I mean, for the community and to help order. I feel like when we had the organizations that we had growing up in the 80s and the 90s, I feel like it was a lot more structure. You know, it was more order. And I feel like because certain people were in high positions had they don't want the certain people don't want our people, our culture to be in power. You know what I mean? Because we'll be able to do a lot of things out here. And so their job was to remove any power. Everybody that's in power that's black, they get rid of them, as we know. You know what I mean? Even starting from the President Kennedy, he wasn't black, but he helped the
A
blacks
lot of
out.
blacks, right? Yeah.
So anybody, because everybody that's really have this skin, that tone, you know, that this culture is it becomes they become a target because they don't want us to have no power. Like it's just from Dr. King to Malcolm X, don't matter what religion you are, anybody with power from Hoover to Ford to everybody. You know what I mean? Like anybody that's in any type of power, they gonna try to shut it down. So I just feel like the I don't follow like what's out here now with these young people, but I know these young people is on a whole nother different frequency than we were. Um in the Mayor Daley, I could say this because yeah, he was the cause of a lot of Chicago um becoming what it is, you know, because I feel like when he shut down, and it could have been people that was over him, but he represented Chicago at the time. When he shut down all the projects in Chicago and flooded everybody in different communities on top of each other, who had been living on top of each other in different projects for years, and just put them in different communities and flooded them, it caused the whole city of Chicago just to shift, and it in a bad way. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, in Chicago it used to just be certain areas, you know, that you would go in, you like, look, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, kind of be careful how you moving in this area. Now, nowhere is safe. You know, downtown used to be one of the safest places that you could go. It's not. It's bad everywhere you go. So I would just say, you know, we got to do better as far as the people who we put in authority. And I'm not talking about in the streets. I'm talking about in the government, from the president to the mayor to the aldermen to the sheriff to the
Judges,
whoever, the
especially.
judges, the Supreme Court, everybody. Like we have to, and I want to stop just a little bit there, and I'm gonna definitely allow him to say what he gonna say. But this is so important that who we put in position determines where how our life goes. You know what I mean? How everything is. And this has nothing to do with today, but I do have a few men that, and we're gonna talk. We talked about, I think, prison reform, but I really want to touch on prison reform because it's a lot of young men that reach out to me that who are dealing with a lot in the prison system. Men who and women who are innocent and who until we proven guilty, and who have been sitting. I know a few who have been sitting not just in ain't even made it to prison, who are sitting in Cook County Jail right now and they sitting in just horrible conditions. So I definitely want to talk about more about, and those of you who want to if y'all know what we could do, like we could have like some type of petition sign to help our black men, our Chinese men, whoever, whatever culture you are, it don't even matter. We all equal in the eyes of God and to me. But if we could help in any type of way to help with like the conditions of how they're living in prison. We can't go help Alabama or Mississippi right now because we gotta make sure our own backyard is okay first. And once we make sure that our backyard is okay, then we can help somebody else. But I really feel like we gotta definitely knock on some doors because if we don't do it and we steady just watching the news and be like, man, that's messed up. You know what happened? Dr. King, they didn't just allow things to happen. If they had to go to prison, if they had to get uh spit on, stumped on, or whatever, like they're the reasons why we here today and able to do this podcast. God is the reason, but God used him and even Malcolm X and so many others and to get us in a position. And it's to me it's like a slap in the face. And this it's a slap in the face to the people who came before us to not appreciate the blood, sweat, and tears that it took for us to get in this position just to sit on a bus. That right there alone says a lot about our character and our product of our environment. And that's it.
For sure.
You got something put add to it, Milton?
Well, like y'all say, you could be a product of the environment, good or bad, depends on where you from. But I could have been one, you know what I'm saying? Cause I grew up on 56 and Loomis in Motown. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, you see gangbangers, selling drugs, people shooting. Like one time we was chilling outside and folks coming through the gangway shooting up the house by broad daylight. So, it's like our parents, well, I ain't gonna say, yeah, well, our parents, but my parents, they decided, it was time for a change. Either
Yeah.
continue to live that way, watch your kids grow up to be drug dealers or be shot, whatever, gangbangers, or move somewhere far out into the suburbs, a whole different environment. Like we moved out to Harvey, like in the summer '89, almost at '90. So it was a whole totally different neighborhood
Yeah.
environment. You know what I'm saying? So you saw that, and you wanted to be good, do good, and you didn't want to continue to live the life that you were living in the city, or hope to not grow up to be what you wanted to be, but do something different in life. And it was crazy, man. So I thank God, I thank my parents for making that change. Cause if not, they even know. And I told them, I said I was gonna be selling drugs if we didn't move. If we didn't move,
Mm.
I've been right there in the corners, on the corners or in the alley somewhere. Like they always,
Yes.
how they was in the '80s and '90s
Mm-hmm.
in the
It's
alley selling weed. So you
yeah.
know,
Cause it's so easy to and I don't care how good of a parent you are, you know what I mean? It's really up to that child or that you don't even have to be a child, you could be an adult, in an area like that. And you fall on hard times and baby needs some diapers and you know what I'm saying? You don't know what your stomach growling, you don't know what you may do. You know what I mean? So what we having this show is basically letting people know, you know what I mean? Try not to be a product of a bad environment. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Be a product of a good environment. And just because you live in a certain area don't mean You gotta adapt to it. You know what I mean? You don't have to adapt to it. We're not saying everybody can't afford to live out the hood. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have the means to do that, you know. So we're not saying that the hood is just bad. No, the hood can be good because it could teach you a lot. The hood taught me a lot. It taught me how to survive.
Right.
It taught me how to go get the ramen noodles, you know what I'm saying? And make me a jailhouse dip if I ain't got no food, you know what I'm saying? Like, it taught me how to do a lot. So it taught me how to be a woman. So the hood could be a
Hey,
good,
what's that?
you know.
Hey, if you ain't had no food, it was time to eat them pork and beans and hot dogs.
Yeah. Remember what was that? The where they had the government cheese and it was in a white box and powdered milk, baby. Look,
Hey,
I'm telling you.
Like I said,
the
you ain't
one.
gotta be no product. Hey,
Right.
like you
That's
said,
all you
like you
do.
said, like you said, like y'all said earlier, it's the 50 and 60-year-old dudes out there still trying to hang and bang. And like you said, Sammy, they those are the plants they want to stick around and don't want to blossom.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
for all the
You need
youngsters who ain't paying attention, I hope you pay attention to this show. I hope this video go viral so they can pay attention because, like you say, Lady T, you mentioned the word structure earlier, and it's not going to be solid without structure. You know, that's why they took a lot of the positive gang leaders off the street. They want you to see the older guy with his pants sagging and stuff like that, bullying the block and stuff like that. But for all you youngsters listening, all this threats those guys be doing, the police aware of that. Why do you think they still on the street? They want you to be influenced by this guy. You know, it's one guy that tried to make you stay off the street, got 60 years, got no case on him really. He's just in there because he was a positive guy to the street. But then you got this
yeah,
guy that you know that did everything under the sun, still walking the street. I mean, just pay attention like
yeah,
that. I learned a lot of stuff from the street. That I learned how to stay away or be aware. I pay attention to certain stuff like this. Now, this guy done
And
did, everybody in the hood know he done did this. How is he still out? I mean,
and shout out to all the chiefs. Y'all know who y'all are. I'm not gonna shout nobody out, whether you in prison, whether you out, but y'all know who y'all are who kept the order, you know, of what an organization should be. Shout out to the Black Panther Party, for helping women with WIC and, you know, helping women to keep helping the community stay safe. Y'all not unnoticed, you know. Shout out to everybody who do things, you know, the aldermen, we need more people to get in position. You know what I mean? To get in position and to lead people. Um, we need another Dr. King. Really, at this
we
point,
need several.
we need somebody to bring order. And a lot of people, I feel like in this hour, they're afraid. People don't want to die. You know what I mean? They want to live forever. And what people don't realize is that we all gotta go. Like, that's something you can't go chapter 13, you know? But
And another important thing, we don't just need the Dr. King, we need more Coretta Scott
shit.
Kings.
absolutely.
You say you can't do chapter 13 on
No, you can't. You can't. We all gotta go. You know what I mean? So I feel like I wouldn't say that I'm more like a civil right leader. I'm more of like I don't know who I am, but I've been in some
Lady T.
positions.
You lady
I've been in
reading.
some positions to help some people out like Moses, a whole community, you know, that I haven't really talked about, but I'm gonna definitely put in my book. Um, but that's neither here nor there. I'll get into that one day for you guys, and it's real interesting. But Just we gotta do right. You know what I mean? I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it. It was a situation, and I'm making brief, where I was living in Inglewood, like in 2002, 3, 4, 5 to 2005. And the building that I was living in was these. Y'all remember the people that used to be on the train and they used to be selling them M&Ms,
Mm-hmm.
and they would preach the gospel once you buy the M&Ms. Y'all remember that? Like on the trains.
Kinda,
And they would be like,
it's
can
still.
you give a donation for these peanuts or these M&Ms on the red line?
I'm like, I go get the same M&Ms at Walgreens.
Right. So anyway, I ain't gonna say the people name, but it was a church. Lord, wow, I don't want to talk about the church, but they weren't true men and women of God because they was doing the people bogus. Like they would have them to go out and sell these M&Ms and take all their money and get them like $5. And a lot of these men and women were like on drugs. They were homeless, and they gave them a place to stay. So I get it. They took the money to keep the business going, but it was the conditions of how this place was that just did not sit right with me. Like the people had these people living in zero below weather in the building, like smoke blowing out your mouth, lip tight, like no windows, cardboard boxes was the windows. It was bad. So I complained over and over to the alderman to where I went to the city, I went downtown and had the whole operation shut down. And a lot of people were angry with me because they was like, this all we got. But at what cost? One little girl ended up getting gangrene and having to get her legs amputated because she stepped on a nail that was so rotten, you know what I mean? And I was like, this is it, you know what I mean? The Moses in me came out. Let my people go, and it shut down the whole operation. And I felt like it was necessary because the people was about money, you know what I mean? They was about money. And I say that to say the product, people were they were so conditioned to think like, like these people that helping me, it's okay that I live like this. It's okay that, they give me somewhere to live, even though the conditions is horrible. And it's like, no, that ain't what God wants for his people. Like, God is a God of excellence. He wants the best for you, for anybody. And so I just felt like in me, like I could have turned the other cheek and just been like, I ain't helping these people. And it ain't my problem. But because I had a heart to, like nobody else gonna do it. Because if I probably wouldn't have said nothing, them people would still probably been there suffering.
Wow.
So I just say that to say, even if you see somebody that you may know that may be a product of their environment, sometimes people be so conditioned in their mindset that they don't even realize that they're a product of their bad environment because they so immune to it. You know what I mean? That's just like I know some people who don't like to shower.
Wow.
And when you sit in your funk for so long, you immune to the smell, so you can't smell you. You do. I don't know if you can smell you or not, but I'm assuming you can't smell you because you would probably want to get in the shower if you smell bad. So I'm trying to think logically, yeah.
No,
But
they can't smell themselves. They used to
They
smell.
right around it, right?
They
so
just like a person say, you smoke too much
not a good
weed. Like,
analogy.
I don't smell like weed. Like, yes, you do. I smell it. It's on your body.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Right. And that's
So no,
crazy. We were just talking about before you jumped in, Lady T, just alcoholics. But we know some people. I know some people that just be smelling like alcohol all the time, but they spray like a bunch of stuff on them to try to cover it up, but they don't put enough because they so you that see all through their pores and stuff. They don't smell
it's
it,
in your
but other
pores.
people
Yeah,
smell it though. You know,
it
Yeah, person who
is.
don't do it, yeah, they smell it. They smell it.
all instantly, right?
Yeah, just like cigarettes. You can't. That's a smell you can't cover up. Smoke,
Right.
you could tell like you smoke like so. But now all I was just saying is that if you know somebody that that's in a situation, sometimes people just be needing that push. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? For that light, because some people light bulbs just stay off. Sometimes you need to turn that light on a little bit so they can see, like, okay, maybe I need to, because I've been in this too long, and not really. You could be in a situation for so long, even in a. Oh man, I ain't want to go here, but you could be in a toxic relationship and be so immune to it. You know what I mean? Because you got a soul tie, or you love this person for whatever reason, y'all. It's cheaper to keep her or him. So you like, I'm gonna just go ahead, stay in it. No, it's time to go. If it's toxic, you gotta let it go. So
that's right.
whether it's in your life, you know what I mean, whether your living situation, whatever the situation is, like you gotta let this stuff go. Gotta move on and move forward. That's it.
Yeah, you
That's
gotta
right.
let it go.
Gotta
Don't
let it
let it
go.
be another TKO.
Yeah. Please, y'all, let it go.
And I just want to add to this, the kids. If you see any kids living through we need more role models. I know me and you talked about this before, Lady T, and we still gonna make this happen.
Yeah.
Starting a youth program, be big brother, big sister to some kids,
Yes.
because sometimes a kid just need a positive role model in their life, somebody that care. If they used
Yes.
to Lil Uzi, them, see or whatever, whatever crazy names people have nowadays. If the other
Yes.
people around them 24/7, that's who they looking at their mind. You mentioned that we need better judges, senators, aldermen,
Mm-hmm.
mayors, governors. I want to try to influence kids to try to become some of these things. Running the
Yeah.
street, hugging the block, that's gonna get you away from that stuff. Because, like,
Yeah.
when we talked about some things that we would change, I changed a lot of stuff in my life because I'd have pursued some of those type of careers to make
Yeah.
laws. Some of the senators, all they got to do is sign, create a bill, create a thought, and sit it on the president's desk and make them sign it. That's a law.
Yeah.
We need to pursue more kids or filmmakers and content creators. If you out there, black
Absolutely.
filmmakers and content creators, this is what type of content y'all should be trying to create to put in front of these kids, and stop trying to put all the negativity up in front of them. That's why I stopped watching Power. I was watching Power at first when Ghost was in it, because Ghost was a street dude trying to change his life around. They done
Yeah,
had
yeah,
this man's son kill him, and now they got a adventures about him, Tyreek, and now all the little kids on the street want to be him and stuff. Content creators. Come on, let's bring it back to reality. Let's try to promote these kids that want to be something else than you're showing them the wrong way about going about things. Real people that move that way don't even show that they move that way. They make the laws so they
Yes.
can do the stuff. Just keep that in mind. So
Yeah.
before we
We
go to break,
definitely
go ahead.
definitely have to guard our ears and eye gates because what certain things that you watch, like you said, watching your spirit, because you could get caught up in listening. I'm a big Tupac fan. And as you get older, you get to really listening to the lyrics. And I was singing some of his lyrics, and I was like, definitely, it's definitely around the corner. I had to catch myself. Nah, ain't no
Yeah, see, he talked
death in
that
life
into existence in his
is
life.
in the. Let me say this, and we're gonna go into break. And this is so important. If for everybody, for y'all that's even in the back. that watch us, but don't. But anyway, be very careful with what you say and the type of music that you let in your ear gates. Because I said this on the show before, death and life is in the power of your tongue. Words create an atmosphere. So what happens is it creates an atmosphere in the world that we can't see with the natural eyes in the spiritual realm. And then it manifests in the natural realm. But you done created it already with your mouth because your words is powerful. Your words is powerful. They carry weight. You know, they say that your hands and a gun is powerful. Nah, it's your mouth.
The tongue
Your tongue, I'm telling you, could cut you. It'll cut you deeper
cut
than
you deep.
it was. What's the song? The song back when we was kids, "Sticks and Stones May Break My Bones."
Bones, but
But
words
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 never
is
ever
never
and
hurt.
hurt.
They
the
lied.
Yes, yes.
like
They
the little boy
mean
said,
Powers of the tongue.
bullshit.
they lied to you. Cause you know what? It could be something that a person said to you when you were a kid. And I'm here to let y'all know, because I know it may be kids that watch, it may be whoever watching this. And somebody may say something to you as a kid, and you may still be holding on to it, or an adult, because they may say you stupid, you dumb, you're never gonna make it, this, that, and the other. You gotta you gotta learn to not accept what people say out of their mouth to you.
Buke it.
Because it's you can reverse whatever negativity a person spoke over your life. You can. You have that power. We have that power to do that. So I just want to say that to the people.
Start saying stuff like I'm wealthy, healthy, happy, successful, and rich. And watch what
Absolutely.
happens. You know?
Gonna manifest.
People
Healthy,
jump
wealthy,
up
successful.
singing their favorite trapper song, favorite trapper rapper song. So, and then that's what
You
they think about it. Is everybody who listening that done been in and out of jail, who used to listen to like, I'm gonna say another Tupac song. I'm up before the sunrise, first to hit the block. You know, continue that whole lyric that he was talking about, it and they're running from the cops and all that. You manifest that into your life. Then you go to
yeah,
jail. I mean, come on. You
yeah.
singing these
So
songs that these rappers putting out there, and you're
we
living that lifestyle.
we have to do it. And I said I was done, but now I'm really done. What I do as a person when I get up in the morning, before I do anything, I command my day. I have a book I'm gonna show y'all. It's a book. If you don't read the Bible, whatever your religion is, I'm not here to argue with it. But if you're a believer or whoever you believe, you have to command your day and speak that into life. And I have a book where it tells you like, you know, it's like a journal, but it gives you like scriptures for the day, for the week, or what month, or whatever that day is. So I say my prayer and then I command my day to go this type of way. I rebuke, I ban, I loose, you know what I mean? And we living in a time we gotta do that because
Yes.
we living in that hour. We gotta do that and it's so necessary. We're so necessary. So command y'all day. Command your day to be blessed. Command your day to be at peace. Command your day to be, you know, happy. Command whatever you want it to be. You gotta command your day. Now I'm done.
And keep it flowing, keep it constantly. Like Lady T
Yeah,
said earlier, everything starts with structure. You got to
yeah.
structure yourself before you do anything. You wake up and
Mm-hmm.
go to work. Well, some of y'all go to work on time, but a lot of y'all are in there late. But it's still, jobs stand strong because they have structures. They have rules. You
Order.
got to
Yeah.
live by law, you know, order. Do yourself
Mm-hmm.
like that. Wake up every morning, do some of the things Lady T just said she did, and just do it constantly, repeatedly, every day. Just make that a habit and watch you just gonna start used to doing that and watch how much better you feel about
Yeah.
everything. Your day go by smooth. And
Absolutely.
on that note, we're gonna pause now for some words from our sponsor and we return after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Saturday.
Many people struggle with grief, and it can weigh you down. But God wants you to be free. There is a time, a season, and a purpose for everything under the sun. This commercial was sponsored by Itz A Chicago Vibe with Lady T. Marie and Mr. Success.
Know Thyself by Joshua Basukai. There are times where we feel everything is dull. We feel like everything is gray. This is because you do not know yourself. You will find your way to live life each and every day. Know yourself. Know your role. Find your gift. It can take days, months, years to find yourself. But you must keep searching. Only time will tell. But the real you is inside you. That person is the positive side of you. You live for you. You write your own rules. You write your own praises. We all go through this. But know thyself. Let love guide you home. Know yourself.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Itz A Chicago Vibe, and we're about to wrap things up today. And we had an interesting topic. It's about, being a part of any environment, the bads and the good of it, but it starts with structure. Just remember that. And before we get out of here, Lady T, you know the business. Hit these people with a hard, good word affirmation today.
Today affirmation for today is you got to command your day. You got to wake up knowing that the best is yet to come, knowing that you have purpose on this earth. You are still here. It could be worse than what it already is. I don't care if you got bills. I don't care if your kids act. I don't care what you faced against. You have life. You have breath, and you have life. You have another chance, another opportunity to get it right, to do right, to be the best you that you can be. So I just want y'all to just stay focused and know that whatever it is that is meant for you in this season and in this hour, it will manifest. You have to have the faith to know and to believe that it will come to pass. I am your girl, Lady T. Marie, with It's a Chicago Vibe. I'm signing out, sending love to the world and hugs to them thugs.
DJ
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Success.
You know my motto: when you with Mr. Success, you always have a ball. If I can't tell the truth, it's nothing at all. Mr. Success bringing pleasure, no stress. Until next week, y'all. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace. You smell us?
C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A, let's go, 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 C-H-I-C-A.